try to get it right. How many of y'all have been coming here since this said Houston Technology Center? Have you ever been to this building before? Okay, good, a lot of you. Me too. I used to be a mentor here when it was Houston Technology Center, and I even for a little while had an office upstairs. So as you may know, Houston Exponential started about 2 to 3 years ago, and it's really a different kind of entity than Houston Technology Center. I won't go into great detail, but Houston Technology Center was sort of a startup development organization that had access to mentors and to angel investors and all kinds of things like that. Well, now in Houston, we have an enormous number of startup development organizations. We are trying right now to kind of measure and count them as one of the slides in our board presentation, but there's probably 15 or 20 separate startup development organizations, and a number of them larger than HTC ever became. So it's growing by leaps and bounds. It's really a hockey stick, as people in business will recognize when you see graphs that go like that. So it's an exciting time to be in Houston. So the startup development organizations are kind of taking care of the co-working needs of most of Houston. They're popping up all over the place. They're not under the control of HX or any other organization. And it's one part of Houston that's really expanding. And what that's meaning is that there's more room for startups. There are plenty of people in Houston. We have over 7 million. And plenty of them are innovative. Plenty of them have great ideas. And so the expanding number of startup development organizations and other parts of the ecosystem just means more opportunities for people that have great business ideas to try them out, to find mentorship opportunities, to find opportunities to get funding, and to grow their businesses, and with that, grow our economy. So it's happening in all over the place. Just to give you an idea of some of the names of the startup development organizations: Station Houston, which is not just a few blocks away. WeWork has one of their locations. They now have 3, and they're opening a 4th in Houston. Each of those has hundreds and hundreds of workspaces that are filled. The Canon Houston has something like 3 locations now. We have Mass Challenge, which is an example of an accelerator, which moved in from Boston. They have several locations in Boston. We have others that are still on their way. Plug and Play has just arrived. Texas Medical Center, TMCX, is absolutely enormous. They must have, I don't know, over 300,000 square feet that's filled now with innovation-related stuff. It didn't exist 5 years ago. Like everything I just mentioned to you didn't exist 5 years ago. And I could keep going. The Canon's new facility is over 100,000 square feet, and it is completely full, and it hasn't had its grand opening yet. So, and that's the one that's way out towards 13 miles out I-10, but they're servicing the energy corridor, and they're taking on things like sports technology and gaming and a whole number of really hot areas. Some of these places tend to specialize in different things. But I want you to know that the ecosystem is more than just startup development organizations. It's universities, it's corporations, it's venture capitalists, it's angel investors. Government has a role to play. And so what HX does is to provide, we do have this building just because here it is, and it was built, and we're going to continue to operate it, and we are really glad when organizations like you all use it, especially because y'all are a part of this ecosystem. But what HX's role is to try to take this expanding, unzoned, I'm going to say a word that's very popular in Houston. Houston is probably as successful as it is because it's unzoned. And so that's kind of the way the ecosystem is. It is unplanned, it is unzoned. And yet we're there to try to support it from underneath. We kind of try to provide a connective tissue to try to help more connections occur between those different segments, and then we also try to help those segments grow. Cybersecurity is an important area for Houston, and it's of growing importance, and it's actually one of the identified thematic areas that we are focused on as an overall ecosystem. So the board of HX and its committee structure has chosen cybersecurity as part of one of its thematic areas. So there's robotics and Internet of Things, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. There's also a growing interest in aerospace and developing that out into a real cluster, because we certainly have a cluster in energy. We have the world's cluster of energy. We have a great cluster in medicine. And aerospace is probably coming. We've got about 2% of the United States economy of aerospace is here in Houston, and about 10% is in Texas. Most of it's in Fort Worth as it happens. Okay, useless trivia there. But in any case, cybersecurity is something, as you know, that connects with lots of different parts of the ecosystem. Lots of different players, like universities, like corporations, like startups, like angel investors who are interested in it. But it also affects different companies in different industries. I mean, you know this. But what I'm telling you is that cybersecurity is very important to us. And we noticed there is a cybersecurity summit. I don't know, in February you're coming up. That's great. I know that we've been talking about how we can help to promote it. We're happy to do that. Anyway, I don't want to be up here too long. I just want to give you an idea of kind of what HX is all about and why you can expect more and more from HX and why we are here to support something that is out of control, but it's out of control in a good way because it's getting bigger and it's getting better and wider, and we really appreciate your role in it. So we're glad you're using this building. We invite you to come back and to be a bigger and bigger part of our ecosystem. Thanks much.
Thank you, Barbara. Now, when was the last time that we had the president of HX, Houston Technology Center, come in here and actually address the crowd? So thank you very much. I know you have a board meeting you're preparing for, but I appreciate you coming in, and I really look forward to our relationship and how you're helping us with the space. And then we're working on the Houston Cyber Summit that all of you know, and we'll be working on some very innovative, creating an innovation space in the at the summit. So I really look forward to that. Thank you, Herb. Thank you, and thank you for the use of this space. So Cyber Houston. What did we do? There we go. So what is Cyber Houston? We are committed to ensuring that the business leaders in the Houston region are educated and prepared to conduct their businesses in a safe, secure, and private manner every day. Harvey, this is especially for you. I added the private part. Cyber Houston's goal is to develop a trusted community of well-informed business leaders by providing high-quality information and learnings in partnership with organizations like ISACA, InfraGard, ISA, HIMSS, SIM, and others. And Cyber Houston, this is our bragging point. We were the very first DHS recognized ISAL in Houston. That's the Information Sharing and Analysis Organization. You can follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. And what we are doing today is thanks to HCC, the innovation side of the house at HCC, Ravi Brahmbhatt and Iggy, are live streaming right there. We started live streaming 2 months ago. The first time we had 100 people online. Last month we had 550 people online. And this month I hope we have even more. But the more interesting thing is that not just 550 people were online. I was told we had almost 300 that stayed all the way through the session. So thank you very much to Iggy and Ravi and HCC Innovation to help us with what we're doing. The happy hours, as you know, are the second Thursday of every month from 5 to 7 p.m. in this location. Parking can sometimes be a challenge, but there is a parking garage right over here at the corner of Bagby and Pierce. It's probably the best place for you to park if you cannot find parking on the street at the parking meters. That way you won't get a ticket for just about 30 minutes of parking. At the end of the day, we try to wrap up around 6:55 or 7 o'clock, or try to be out of here by 7:05. If we are lucky, if our speakers stay within their time frames. Otherwise, I will be moving in and trying to give people the hook. Please do consume all the food and beverages inside the building. To be eligible for the raffle drawings, drop your business cards or contact information into the bowl, and then at the end, the sponsors, we have a couple of sponsors who come up, do a drawing, get a good gift card. You have to be present to win, and then we call it quits for the evening. We want to thank our sponsors, ISACA Houston. Thank you, ISACA, U of H Downtown, Houston Community College, Reneka App Builders, and Blue Lance. Events like this are not easy to pull off unless we have sponsors who help with some of the related expenses and all the good stuff that goes along with it. So we thank our sponsors. And our community partners, Houston Exponential, the Greater Houston Partnership, and the Center for Houston's Future. Now, the Cyber Houston has launched what used to be called the Cybersecurity Task Force, and the partnership has now been converted and matured into the Greater Houston Cybersecurity Council. And this council has some pretty big logos up there. We have representation from over 50 of the area's best world-class cybersecurity and business leaders that come in and they volunteer their time, and we work on resources for taking the learnings from the enterprise and moving that into digestible, sensible, and economical recommendations to small and mid-sized businesses. The whole idea being that we make these small and mid-sized businesses more secure, more resilient, and therefore better and more reliable partners back to the enterprise. So there's guidance that this council puts out, and it is revised on an annual basis. And I would point you to the website, which is cyberhouston.org. And right up there at the very top, there is a tab for resources. If you go in under those resources, you'll get the guidance for board of directors, you'll get a cybersecurity assessment that's free, and you'll also have a free cyber scan for access controls and for internal security controls, which is all free. All the work that we do is all volunteer. It's civic. It's a group of civic and business leaders, civic-minded business leaders, and all the work that we do is done and made available to our community and the community at large for free. So, without much ado, I would like to bring up my good friend, Harvey News. He's the president of the Houston chapter for ISACA. We've known each other for going on to a decade, and but more importantly, we have a brand new partnership with Cyber Houston and ISACA, and they have been helping us with the program. And what I like is Harvey's going to share with you a quick 5 to 7 minute update on some of the most recent breaches and the security and the privacy aspects that have come, like with Capital Bank and a few other, Capital One and a few other issues. So, Harvey?
Thank you. Thank you. We're really looking forward to expanding our partnership and doing a lot of things together in a lot of areas. So, how many of you are from ISACA here? Several of you. Good. Excellent. What about ISSA? Excellent. IntraGuard. So all of us know about training, right, and the need for security in all of this. So I know you know the answer, but I want to hear it. Does compliance equal security? Why not? True. You could be very secure, yet have your name all over the Wall Street Journal and be breached. And that may have happened in the Capital One case. But then also, even if you are secure, compliant and secure, does that mean you have privacy in place? No, it doesn't. And in fact, I would argue that a lot of people a lot of cybersecurity professionals believe that they can immediately understand privacy. And I'm here to tell you that 4 years ago, it took me 3 to 6 months to wrap my head around privacy. And I always love it when somebody says, that they're a cybersecurity professional, because the first thing I want to do is ask them, in which of the 3 to 5 domains out of the 40 or 50 are you a professional in? And Mike knows what I'm talking about. You're probably going to talk about the different areas of domains tonight. And I love that we've got some HCC people here, right? They're the only ones here that need to be trained, right? No, all of us, exactly. And I'm still going to be looking for that too. So speaking, you heard about I saw an infographic the other day. It had about 8 or 10 settlements of breaches. And the first settlement was from Target, and it was dated May 23rd of 17. And it was 20 some odd million with the Attorney General's, you knew that. And the last one it had up there was Facebook, and just below that, Equifax. Now what was fascinating to me was that if you look at the date of the first one, May 23rd, 2017, and there was a small span up until now, and there were a lot of fines, and they went from 18, 20 million up to 500 billion. But amazingly, when did those breaches occur? A lot longer than, 2 or 3 years ago. Some of it goes back to 13 with Target. And so I think we need better privacy laws there as well. But in terms of Capital One, I guess you've heard about this, and with Amazon, and I think this is going to be a game changer. Because it turns out, I was reading in the Wall Street Journal, that at the same time that the hack was occurring, March or April, the Federal Reserve, the same branch that oversees Capital One, was at the facility of Amazon in Virginia. And it was totally separate from this being, from the hack. They didn't even know about the hack. But they were there because Amazon is considered to be almost a part of the banking system. And when did that vulnerability occur? When was it announced? What does it go back to? What year? 2014, right? And it hasn't been fixed. And Amazon said it's not our problem. And a lot of people say, hey, we have preventive controls in place. And they don't worry too much about detective controls. But I would say you better be concerned about the monitoring controls and the detective controls. So I think this is going to be a game changer. I'm not sure exactly how. But I know that GDPR was a game changer. You've heard of CCPA, right? California Consumer Privacy Act. It's my understanding that is going to be $1 billion business. And whatever else comes after that is going to be probably $10 billion. And whatever comes after that will be federal privacy law after state laws. But California is out there. Texas isn't. But New York is almost out there. They're probably going to pass it before the end of the year. It's going to be enacted in 6 months. And it's my understanding when those two out of the three with Texas get laws, it's going to happen. And it needs to happen. And GDPR, I think, changed this. It changed our understanding. It woke us up as individuals about our privacy concerns as well. I saw a New York Times article that had a big iceberg up here, and they were talking about people waking up in terms of their privacy on Facebook. And they said, oh, by the way, even if you get off Facebook tomorrow, 7/8 of your data is already gone, and you don't know where. But this is the tip of the iceberg. We got a lot of privacy things coming out, and I think there's going to be a lot of training that needs to be done. And I, for one, am excited to hear our speaker tonight. Thank you. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Harvey. I have a question for you. So Harvey, how do you see the U.S. privacy laws mirroring or differing from the European GDPR?
It's a great question. So Silicon Valley would like to put everything out there from GDPR except the consent, right? It's not going to happen. I think we're going to have to mirror that, because if we don't, we're not going to get the teeth in everything that needs to be there. And let me also say, we don't know what's coming after that, but if you put in something called FIPS, Fair Information Privacy Principles, and Privacy by Design, FIPPS, FI capital, FIPPS, and then Privacy by Design, you should be able to meet 80% of what is needed out there in the laws. But the biggest thing is work with your customers, see what they want, try to meet that.
Thank you, Harvey. Let's give Harvey a hand. And thank you to the Entrepreneurial for sponsoring the event. So, if I can get this thing to work, maybe I can do this.
Could you say it again?
Okay.
So much with you. Say it again.
Well, our speaker here today is Jennifer Holmes. She's the director of the Corporate College and Office of Entrepreneurial Initiatives at the Houston Community College. Jennifer tells me that we have known each other for a long time. And I remember having met with her and dealt with her when she was over at Rice. And then after that, you kind of disappeared for a while. But you resurfaced at And she has taken that whole initiative and really started being very focused and targeted about how we can get community dollars and dollars that are at the state sitting in different pockets, and how do we bring our fair share here to Houston. So I won't take away any more of the thunder, but we have this brand new partnership between Cyber Houston and Houston Community College Corporate College that we are very excited about. And so, welcome, Jennifer.
So disclaimer, I know nothing about cybersecurity, other than I don't like doing my passwords, but I think I know. But what I do know about is training. And I am really, really excited, and I think it's a perfect segue from a previous speaker to what I have to say to you is that I bring you greetings and pots of money. So what we're gonna talk about tonight is who we are as the corporate college at Houston Community College, and these pots of money that I am going to propose and share with you, and ways that each of you can access those dollars in various ways. So that's what I'm here tonight about. How many of you have some kind of association with Houston Community College? Have been a student, has a child or family member who has attended Houston Community College? I think Houston Community College touches almost every life in Houston in some kind of way. Someone has either taken a credit class or a non-credit class or a workshop or a training at Houston Community College. But how many of you are aware that there is a contract training arm at the Houston Community College? One person. So I am the director of the corporate college. So we're part of the Houston Community College, but we focus on a very unique line. We don't work with individual students. What we do is we work with the business community to develop customized, market relevant workforce solutions for them. What that means is we may reach out to a client, or a client reaches out to us, and they have a specific challenge or issue that they'd like to address. And we go in, listen to them, and develop customized workforce solutions. And we offer our trainings. My motto is we offer them where you want them, when you want them, and how you want them. We work shifts. We work them, we develop training solutions that maybe, how many people have said, you know what, I need to learn XYZ Excel, but I don't want to take a 16-week class. I just need to learn how to work these formulas and do this or that. That's what we do. We develop those solutions, and so we can take a 16-week course and deliver, just hit the topics that you're interested in and deliver it in an 8-hour session. We're actually getting ready to work with a firm, Higginbotham, where we're going to be doing an 8-hour Excel training course in their office. We're bringing the laptops, we're training their workforce, and they unpivot tables, and they gave us a list of those things that they'd like for us to do. So our client population is the business community. So these are the various areas that we train in, but someone asked me earlier tonight, what kind of trainings do you offer? You all will see our catalog in your folder. If it's not in that catalog, I was reluctant to even put together a catalog because some people will look at that and go, well, what I'm looking for is not in there. That's fine. We are able to customize most any trainings that anyone needs. We have the resources of the entire college. We work with all 15 of our centers of excellence, and we can customize any types of training. But what I really, really want to focus on tonight is this partnership that we have and the huge need and demand for cybersecurity training. I know that there's a need. What we recognize is that when training is usually the area where people, that's the last on the list and first to go when people need to make budget cuts. So here's an example of some of the clients that we've worked with. We support the Houston business community. So what I want to talk to you about is a partnership that we have, Houston Community College, along with the Texas Workforce Commission, and now with Cyber Houston, to bring training dollars to our workforce community. The first one I'll talk to you about is the Skills for Small Business. That is a fund that is available to those companies that have 99 or less employees. We can provide any types of training for those individuals. And again, look in your package, there is a sheet, the cybersecurity hot topics. We put this together to give you a menu of some of the types of training that we can do for small businesses with under 100 employees. And one of the things that we recognize about small businesses is it's hard for you to release yourself and your employees to go for training. So what we can do with these types of training is that we can put together a training and bring several businesses together to do that. So these are some of the targeted areas where the training actually happens. And what I can tell you is these information and computer technology is one of the areas, and that's where our focus is going to be with this. So what does it take for you to participate? Be a business. That's it. Employ at least yourself and not more than 99 employees. So if it's just you and you're paying you, you're eligible. But you need to be paying yourself. And then you need to be financially stable. And here is the key. You need to be liable to pay unemployment insurance. That's why you need to be paying you. Because the dollars that we use, and there is $6 million that's set on the table to train our workforce in the skills development, skills for small business fund. It's a really, really simple way to access these dollars. So how do you access them? Complete an application. And you're probably saying, oh God, who wants to fill out an application? The application is your name, your contact information, and who you want to train. And we may ask you a few other things. We'll work with you on that. We have a team of people on our staff. If you don't want to fill out your application, we'll do it for you. It doesn't want, okay, here we go. Is it live? Okay, so how much money can you receive through the Skills for Small Business? For each and every one of you in this room and your employees, you can receive up to $1,800 every year for those employees who are new. Who is considered a new employee is any individual who has been with the company for less than 12 months from the date that you submit your application. Those dollars follow the employee. So one of the things I tell people, especially our small businesses, if you want to develop a training plan, so say the average cost of a class is $300, and you want to develop a training plan for your company, and you would like to look at as many of these cybersecurity trainings as you can, look at developing a plan for the year. And then as soon as you complete that year, then the next one is anyone who has been in the company for 12 months or more is eligible for $900 in training dollars every year. So then now you have a training budget. You can start strategizing and planning. So what if what you're looking for is not specifically on there, or some of the topics may be what you want, and you want to mix and combine some of these things, or you want to just take that menu? We will sit down and we can develop from this menu so one of the disclaimers was I'm not an expert, but we have our subject matter experts. So what we do is we can design whatever it is you need and what your company needs. So we have an instructional design team. We pull in the subject matter experts. They will work with us, and so we listen to you as the business and we develop those. One of the things that is a requirement for this is that you must be paying prevailing wages to your employees. And so one of the things we will do is for everyone that you'd like to train, we will sit down with you and we will pull the standard occupation code for that individual employee's title to determine that yes, you are paying the prevailing wages for that employee, which is very, very simple and easy. So then I want to talk about another pot of money that's just a little bit more. And you can use the Skills Development Fund for a 1-year training plan. It's the Texas Workforce Premier Training Program that we create customized training using state funding. There's $40 million by annum for that, meaning there's $20 million each year. This is for companies that have 100 or more employees. You can have less, but what we found is that companies that have less than 100 employees, it's hard for them to send employees to training and continue their production. So each company can get up to $500,000 in training dollars to deliver a training plan over the course of 1 year. Now, we know cybersecurity training is sorely lacking. And people will say, well, it hadn't happened to me, so I'll worry about it when it gets a little closer to home. I don't know what that means, but they are not concerned. So this partnership and this effort is for us to get the word out, people, that yes, I need that training, I want that training, but I don't have the dollars to do it. Well, now you do. So I don't know how many business owners we have, or individuals who may have contact with business owners, or who have influence over who makes the decision about training, but our community needs to use this money. I have made it my mission. I'm very, very competitive, I'll tell you all this. Dallas gets of that $20 million, they usually give $11 million, and the rest of the state gets the other part of it. We're going to change that. Houston is going to really increase that. We are moving from about $150,000 when I took over in 2016, and we're close to $2 million. And that's with not having partnered with a lot of individuals and through these partnerships. So if you work for a company, your large corporations, let them know about this, because we'll be happy. So all they need to do is the same thing. Employees need to be residents of Texas. They need to be paid under payroll taxes. And what I was sharing with someone here, that I won't point them out, that we're the happy side of TWC, where we give away the money and we help. And one of the things I have to tell you, they love giving this money. The whole purpose of this money is to train the workforce and build capacity for the community college. What they like is creating training in areas that had not been created before. So this is for them, is really, really exciting. These are exciting times. And again, the little that I do know, that we're just scratching the surface, that there's other ideas that you all may have for training that may not be on this sheet, that we can continue as we do this and as this evolves, we can continue to develop more and more training. So we'd love to hear from you all. Now, while the employees are training over the 12-month period they get when you're awarded a grant, we actually have to make sure that they are paid while they're training, and then we have to pull information from the individual employees, so we make sure the company is aware that they let their employees know that we're gonna have identifiers and so forth. Now, with these grants, the college is required to deliver 50% of the grant. So any vendors in here, we can include third-party vendors as part of these grants as well. So we may have a company that is requesting something that's so specialized that we don't have a center of excellence at HCC that may help us to develop that. Then, or they may say that we are working with a company and this is unique information. We can hire them as part of the grant, and they become a third-party vendor who will be paid as part of the grant. They require 50% of the training. Normally, we do about 60%. Oh, thank you. So there's types of the grant, and so when we're looking at this for cybersecurity, part of what will fall under business technical are those individuals who do this type of work as their job. Then that's categorized as business technical, and we would list all the job titles who are taking that. So we have to put these the training types in categories, and so a lot will depend on what company we're training and what job titles we're training. So, one of the things that I said to you all is that this is about strengthening our business, increasing the capacity for the college. When we develop these curriculum and these trainings, we put this in a repository that other entities throughout the state of Texas can use, so Texas workforce really appreciates and enjoys that we come up with something new and customized. So we offer the classes on the partner site, but we have all of our 6 Houston Community College locations, and if there is any equipment that is needed or necessary for our trainings, then we secure that site and we can offer the trainings at that site. And then we also have a flexible schedule. We will work, if a company has first, second, or third shift, we deliver our trainings at whatever shift, at whatever time works for the company. So again, generally with these grants, all employees receive up to $1,800 per employee for training over the course of a year. Each business is eligible for up to $500,000 in training dollars. If a business has more than one EIN number, then they are eligible for $500,000 per EIN number. So if those of you who have contact or connection with larger companies, if they have several locations, depending on the number of employees they have, they are eligible for millions of dollars. And then for us to be successful with the grant, we have the companies complete what's called a private partner information form, where they tell us, here is the job titles I'd like to train, and here's the number of individuals I'd like to train. In order for these grants to be successful, we must train the total number of people that we said we were going to train and the total number of training hours. And there is, they allow for individuals dropping out or someone leaving the company, and so a successful grant can complete at 85% of the total training hours and total number of trainees. So, anybody want some money? Anybody know anybody who wants some money?
Yes.
Anybody know how important cybersecurity training is to the city, the state, the country? So, you tell somebody, you tell yourself, you've got ideas, reach out to me, tell me what it is you need, what you want, and we can make it happen. This is just the start. We're just introducing this. We need to get the word out. I'm hopeful that there are people out there in Cyberland who really want money. There's big pots of money, and this is a very much needed area that has been undertrained, from what I'm hearing, and there's great ideas in the room, so I'd like to hear from you all. What do you think? Who do you know? How do we get this done in Houston, Texas?
The question for you, Jennifer, just not only, but won't the corporate college need experts to hire to deliver these trainings?
Yes.
Some experts in the room as well.
So we're working with Umish to lead and guide that effort for us, because he's our subject matter expert, and so he's gonna help us vet and screen individuals. We've already started that conversation, because yes, in order for us this will be a plan and a strategy that we're kicking off. So we know the way we work with trainers at Houston Community College, corporate college has its own trainers separate from the staff faculty at Houston Community College. We do draw from all of the faculty, but we have our own area, and so you would need to apply through us. That process we can start now, because the way we work is when we sell a training, when we've delivered got a grant approved, then we hire you and you're working specifically for that project. So many of our people have their own companies or they're consultants, and they will be working with us, and we call and say, hey, this is the day, this is the time, can you be available for that? So yes, you're absolutely right. And we need to have a minimum of 5 to 10 people in each category, because everybody's not gonna be available when we call them. And note this, we're gonna be so large, we're gonna sell so much training, we're gonna be at $10 million, we need those individuals out there. So we'll work with them to get them vetted and screened, but I think this is the perfect opportunity to get in on helping us get this launched and kicked off. David.
Dave Hansen. Is this working? Okay. Dave Hansen, I'm with the MIT Crossborder chairman, and I'm also worked with Umesh on the cybersecurity here in Houston. The money that you get from the state, does that go to pay for the training that goes to HTC and your contractors, or does the money go to the companies to compensate for the time the employee's not working, but he's in training?
That's a good question. Houston Community College is the fiscal agent of the grant, and so the business is considered as part of this process the business partner and the beneficiary of the training. So there's no money that goes there. The funds go to paying for the trainers, paying for the customization, so we have to design the training, paying for any materials, and if there are several businesses that partner together in an application, there's dollars available for equipment or when we work together with several organizations. So yeah, and it's actually after the training has been delivered, it's a drawdown grant, and it's based on per participant that completed. So when we put together a proposal and we design it, there's a budget form, and we determine for each of the training sessions, it will cost X number of dollars per participant, and then if we have 20 people in the class, we draw down the funds that's per participant from TWC. There has to be someone that's a fiscal agent and responsible for how those dollars are used, and so that's who we are.
The $1,800 per person, is that expected to pay for everything for training, or does the company still need to come up with some money?
The company usually normally does not have to pay for anything. TWC wants to see the company have some skin in the game, and what they do is look at your what you're paying employees while they're training as your in-kind donation. Training facilities and so forth are considered your commitment as a company to the training.
Hi, this is Harvey. I just wanted to say I think you couldn't be in a better area. You had mentioned the cybersecurity
that's what we're interested in at the corporate college, is that, and as well as TWC. So again, the whole purpose of these dollars is to build capacity for the college, and so we want to hear from individuals. Here's the next new area that's coming down the pike. You really should be focusing on that, because I see it as our role as corporate college to help direct the rest of the college. There's a business need, we shape the curriculum, and then that helps the college to determine, yes, we need to look, because they can't create a new certificate program or degree program for everything until there's an established need. Well, then we help to serve that role for the Houston Community College, as businesses are saying to us, hey, here's an emerging need, we really need you to look at it. And one of the things that I did not say is that once we develop the curriculum, then it goes into a repository for all of the other community colleges in the state of Texas to have access to that. So we pull and draw from a repository when we're working with our business partners as well as other community colleges. So we'd love to hear, here's an area, because that's how this relationship started with UNISH. You really need to be looking at this and focusing on this, and so we were responsive to that, and we put this together, and this is just scratching the surface. So we'd love to hear other areas that we should be considering.
Questions? David, you got lots of questions. Good.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions.
But before I turn it over to you, I'd like to just add something. I love the way Jennifer keeps saying UMESH, but it's really with Cyber Houston, and Cyber Houston is so much more than UMESH. Well, you're all I know. We have the courseware that you see there. Many of you have seen the cyber preparedness assessment that we, as our council, has put together at cyberhouston.org. And so this courseware really talks directly to that cyber preparedness assessment. And so something else that we've been talking about is that our council members, who's going to teach these classes on incident response? You're going to have the world-class instructor who's the world-famous guy who's written the book on incident response at Sandpoint. He's in charge, Malcolm Orders, he's going to teach it. HASA, Phil Beckett, the CEO of HASA, the Health Information Exchange, is going to talk about cyber hygiene and logical access. Andy Sawyer, the director of security globally for Lock Lord, is going to teach the issues on software licensing and global, cross-border issues. So you have, big question that Jennifer and the corporate college had was that, this is great, but who's going to teach this stuff? And we don't have the experts. I said, well, we do have experts as part of our council. And so that's the secret sauce over here, is that we're bringing the council and the expertise, and they're going to be the ones who are going to help provide the subject matter expertise.
That gets right to my questions. When will there be a curriculum that companies can choose what courses they need, or what they like, what they can choose from?
So the way the grant itself works is that they're not choosing from already existing curriculum. The grant pays for the development of the curriculum. So we would take topics like this, or if it's not developed as a topic, we would sit down with them, listen, draw from all of our resources and come up with a description and training outcomes. And then once the grant is actually awarded, the instructional design team, along with subject matter experts, actually develop the curriculum.
Okay. What is the timing for developing a curriculum framework that people will be able to say, I want to participate, or this is how?
So I'm not clear.
I said, well, people will want a specific thing that they want to go to a class for. So when is the list of classes?
It doesn't work that way. We work with business partners, so the business determines, here's what I want to train my workforce on. This isn't just classes, it's developing curriculum to train a specific workforce. So if you said today, I know I want to train my workforce then we would move forward with preparing an application. Now, some of these we could do for the skills for small business. We can put together these hot topics and make these available. But when we're looking at a one-year training plan for a company, it doesn't happen until we actually have the funds for the grant.
Two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
Small businesses, under 99 employees, and enterprises with over
Right.
100 employees.
So it's a question, when will these be available?
For small businesses.
Is that what you're asking? Yes.
We're working on that right now.
Right.
I'm pushing hard.
Yes. Well, as we speak, we've got this is our start, and so our instructional design team can make these available right away.
But it sounds like companies have to approach you and say, I need help in this area, but I don't know exactly what I need, help me.
Right.
Um,
That's the way it actually works. A company may say, we need to address cybersecurity in our company, and we need to train, 300 employees or whatever. We go, we sit down with them, and we explain what we explain to you. We take a subject matter expert, and then we start working with them. And one of the things I say to them is, tell us every possible thing you want, everything. Throw everything out there that you want, and then we start to drill down and look at those topics, and then we create a description with outcomes, and then after they have received the award, the curriculum is developed. So it's not like what you look in a specific catalog and say, oh, there's the one I want that. Because generally, the companies are looking for a workforce solution. Courses are usually for people who are trying to figure out how to increase their education, get a degree, get a certificate, get an associate's degree. These are workforce solutions. Here's the problem I have. We need you all to come up with a solution. Cybersecurity is an issue. We're having all these breaches. People are not following protocol, whatever it is. And so we listen to that and develop a training plan based on what the business is saying. Does that address your?
So you're really interfacing with the company, not the individual.
Right, we don't work with individuals.
Okay.
Our customer is the business. The residual effect is every person who trains, but who we're talking to is, what do you need for your company to grow this business, to increase your revenue, to impact your bottom line? So it's all about work for business solutions, not an individual saying, I need to learn. They will learn, and then it will affect the business's bottom line, but it's not for someone to just pick a class.
Hi. Here.
Oh!
My name is Odeta Jim, and I'm the program coordinator for Community College Initiative Program at Houston Community College. This is an amazing opportunity first for small businesses and all businesses, not only small businesses. But I have a question. You said that eligible are employer that you call new employer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a student works as an intern to one of the companies, it's eligible for this kind
No,
of
they're
training?
not. No, they are not.
What?
They have to be a full-time paid employee.
So sad.
No part. Sorry. But we need to get them full-time.
Yes.
I'm not sure how this totally relates to small businesses, but a lot of times the reason that companies do get breached and incidents occur is because of the lack of a proper culture around one of, I think, Fumish's favorite terms, hygiene, with IT, just the cultural changes one needs to make. Could that be part of your curriculum?
Yes. And one of the things that I was sharing with you all, that with the larger pot of money, that we have to figure out these formulas where it has to be business technical, general technical, non-technical. With the skills for small business, we don't have to worry about that. So if a company decides we need XYZ training, we don't have to be concerned about whether or not it fits a limited category. We could just create the training. And in order for us to do that with our small companies, we need, for it to make economic sense for the corporate college, the training session needs to have a minimum of 10 individuals. And that's why I was saying earlier, if there are similar companies, say you're small and you realize I can't send 10, I don't have 10 people, or I can't send 10 people to training, then we may get 4 or 5 companies, and we've done this before, where we pull them together and we take 2 from here, 2 from there. We submit all their applications at the same time, and we work with them, and then we deliver the training. So if you are so small that you're the only one, or there's only 2 in your company, don't worry about that, because we are flexible and can figure out ways to make it work for you. Is that time?
Yeah, I have a question for you that maybe you could elaborate on. Would you like to just share a little bit about like the Goldman Sachs program?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because that's a typical program where small businesses and this curriculum can fit right into that program and then be made available to the general population.
So, are any of you aware of our Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program? So we are under the Office of Entrepreneurial Initiatives at Corporate College. There's the Minority Business Development Agency and the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. That is where businesses go through our program, and they really work with them to increase their revenue, increase the number of employees they have, and they take them through a training program to look at their business plan, their marketing plan, their HR, and so forth, really to shore the business up. To date, Robbie, it's more than 400, right? We've graduated, I know, over 400 businesses, 600 through our Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. What we did as Corporate College and looked at the Skills for Small Business Fund is we created a list of trainings that are relevant to all of those businesses. Some HR issues, sexual harassment, diversity inclusion, and so we put that together for them, and we marketed it to all of them. And so we did a leadership series where several of the Goldman Sachs graduate companies sent 2 or 3 employees, and we set that up for a one-day training for them. So that's something, that model is what I'm sharing with you all that we could use with this particular group.
So let's give our speaker a big hand.
Money, 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 money.
Jennifer, you get to kind of stay up here while we kind of dance around you. There's a couple of sponsors. They'll come up and just talk a little bit about their company for a minute, and then they'll get you to do a drawing.
Okay.
You draw, you announce. We have the person come up. You must be here to present the win, and then we take a photo, and then then we go on to the next one.
Okay, great.
So that's how this is going to work. I'm very excited about this opportunity because, as you know, everything that Cyber Houston does, the whole goal of it has been volunteer-driven, and it's been about how do we bring resources that are free to our community. And that's been the whole goal. So Cyber Houston, for it to be sustainable, is forming partnerships like this with Houston Community College. Houston Community College has been one of the founding members of the Cyber Houston Task Force. And you saw that big list of logos up there. Well, everybody puts in pictures in a little bit, but this is one way where the community is going to benefit, and then there will be a portion of it, which we're still trying to figure out. She really started lowballing us down here, but I'm of Indian origin, so, we've got to negotiate up. So, but the point is, let's get it started. So y'all are getting a preview, and I thought it was very important for our membership to start hearing about it. So stay tuned, because we've got the agreement in place, we've got the courseware in place that's been mapped, we have the idea of the instructors in place, but how does the curriculum become available to small businesses? Is there a catalog? Is there a website? How do we kind of gather stuff? What do we do with the enterprise? Those are the things we're working on next. And so hopefully in the next 60 days, we should have all of that handle it. So with that, understand that if you all participate in this program and you can get your companies to participate in these programs, then there's no cost to you and your company. I love it because it comes in on the, we pay our taxes, our unemployment taxes to this pot at TWC. But it would be very nice to bring it out on this side and to get some of it back, and we get to keep the skills of our existing employees up. People that are currently employed, and therefore their skills are enhanced and they stay employable. So with that in mind, I just wanted to say thank you all for all your support. Please become our ambassadors. Please spread the word. Please, when you think about cybersecurity, privacy issues, think about Cyber Houston. Think about this relationship, because this relationship ends up putting some money back into Cyber Houston, which you know is totally volunteer driven. We are very sparse with our monies. We don't spend frivolously, but we invest it all back into the community. So this would be one of those sustainability streams. So with that, I want to say thank you all for having come and for taking in this presentation. And with that, I would like to invite Reva Verma of Renega App Builders as our first sponsor to tell us a little bit about Renega App Builders and what she's going to do for her drawing.
So hi everyone, I'm Reva Verma. I'm the CEO of Renega App Builders. We are a digital marketing firm here at Houston Exponential. We do social media campaigns, websites, and mobile apps. So I'm not going to really talk about that today. I want to talk about a few initiatives that I'm involved with. So this coming week, I am on the board of the American Diabetes Association here in Houston, and all my fundraising efforts are coming to an end for raising awareness about insulin affordability. So if you would like to participate in our fundraising efforts, the gala is on August 15th, and it's a tribute to the pig because insulin was first derived from pigs and cattle to treat diabetes. It is now obviously synthetically made, but just for your reference, a vial of insulin is about $287, and I need 3 vials a month just to live. So you can do the math. That's very expensive. We need to ask Congress for transparency in the supply chain of insulin. My next thing I'd like to inform you about is I've been working very closely with HCC, and the Transformational Cyber Summit is on August 28th at the West Houston Institute. So please register. Tickets are only $20. If you are a small company and you would like to be an exhibitor, you can be an exhibitor for $20 as well. So it's a pretty good deal. It's a full day of panelists, pretty similar to the Houston Cyber Summit if you're familiar with that. The panel and agenda are all published on the HCC MBDA website. So if you'd like more information about that, please come talk to me or check out the website. It's going to be a great event. So with that,
Also, you can look at Cyber Houston LinkedIn page and all these.
yes, you can also go to the Cyber Houston LinkedIn page, and all that information is published there as well. So with that, I'm going to do the wrap.
McCullough, Sudan,
Oh, I don't think he's here. That's McCullough.
So you must be present to win.
Stacy Hippolyte.
Yes.
Association of Certified Fraud Examiners.
Probably. Yeah. Excellent. Michael, let me just do our sponsor, Harvey, with his soccer, would like to do a special drawing.
Yeah, I'd like to, thanks. I'd like to give away 3, we did last time, 3 tickets to our August 23rd conference, one-day conference. And, yes, sir, yes, sir. And so we will do that again. Do you want to do that?
Oh, you do it.
All right. worn cable.
That costs you money. That costs you money. That
So
costs
you
you
need
real
to get
money.
in touch with me to make sure I get you into it, okay? All right.
That's good. Is this a way for you to give away free membership, free attendance to your buddies that are from Osaka here today?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I would challenge HCC to do the same thing for their 28th. But that's, we'll just leave that.
That was 20, come on, that's $20.
You're right. My apologies. MTIs, I got it broken.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
I can make sure I
Glad.
Congrats. I'm glad we met earlier.
Let's get a picture.
Unless you're with the CIA. Thank you. There's the card. Whoops, there's the card. Jack Ballas.
Jack. Where did Jack go?
Is he gone?
Yeah,
All right.
you know, I want to tell you, other Jack's not, oh, Jack, right here, Jack. Yeah, it's you. That's good. Jack, what are you doing?
Perfect.
How you doing? Yeah, I want to tell you all about Jack real quick. Jack has been a supporter of ours, and he has his insurance company, he's done really well in life, and you know, he's a humble man. And what he would do is he would just write us a check when we were first getting started and just give it to me and say, I don't want anyone to know about it. So I don't mean to embarrass you, but I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you'll get you the ticket. And then is Blue Lance.
Thank you. I'm Michael Decker, the VP of Channel Sales for Blue Lance. And speaking for Blue Lance, I'm really delighted to see the number of people who turned out today. This is really great because it's a really important community event. It's the program that we just heard about is spectacular. I think it can be for its effect on the community. I should say a word about Blue Lance. Blue Lance is a cybersecurity software company providing audit and compliance, internal hygiene, internal security hygiene software. And we have been around for quite a number of years. I'm setting up a channel program. I'd be delighted to talk to anyone who is interested in being a partner with us. So please see me afterward or contact us. For those of you who are online, contact us and I'll be glad to talk with you about it. I have an Amazon gift card, and so we'll make a drawing here. Shuffle through and get down to the bottom here. Chip Robertson.
All right.
Chip Robertson in the back of the room. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Here you go, Umesh.
You sure can.
We have an event that's coming up on the 15th next week. It is resiliency training for businesses. It is about design thinking and how an approach for innovation. It is a $2,500 workshop that the to train 60 individuals after Ike, and it's to help businesses really figure out strategies and plans to be resilient, not only in a crisis situation, but just moving forward. And so what it does is it gives you an opportunity to look at your own approach to innovation. There's an assessment that is valued at $199 that you take before you attend the workshop to look at your own creative problem-solving approach and innovation approach. So if anyone is interested in attending that workshop next Thursday from 9 until 5 at our West Loop campus at no cost to you, then see me and I will give you my card. You can email me and I will send you the link to complete the assessment and then provide you with the details to attend the full day workshop. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So, I hope this was informational. I hope you all got early notification of what's happening in the cybersecurity world. We want your help. We're asking for your help. So thank you very much. I'm about to let you all go, but I want to share a little bit of a little personal story. So as you know, that Reva Verma, she's my daughter. I don't know how many of you know that, but she is my daughter. And I'm very proud of her. I do get choked up a little bit sometimes, so excuse me. But she was 11 when she was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic. And that was the day lives changed. Type 1 diabetics are people who their body does not create insulin. So they need insulin to live. It's not like type 2 where you can have lifestyle changes and medicines and stuff like that. You need insulin to live. Our VP of channel sales, Michael Becker, is also insulin dependent. And so we are very, very conscious about diabetes, and 1/3 of the population is either pre-diabetic or diabetic. And so when you have a population of 300 million people, that's 30 million people, and it's an epidemic. And when you have an issue such as insulin, she talked about insulin, but it's not just insulin. It's about everything you do in the life of managing diabetes. It's a 24/7 management issue. You cannot ever take a break from it. You have to manage it, although it manages you. And you can't take a vacation from it. You gotta travel, you gotta worry about it. You sometimes, you wake up in the middle of the night and your catheter has got pulled off, so your sugars are high. No matter what you're doing, you may be cruising at a very highly productive rate, but you just take a dive. And so, it's very hard, and in today's world, here we're sitting at 2019, and we can put a man on the moon, we can bend and raise, we can look and measure on the other side, but the management issues of insulin and the delivery of insulin is so archaic, it is so piecemeal. There are so many broken parts in it that we, as a family, have committed to trying to help and really improve the lives of people living with diabetes. So prevention and cure and research is all important, and we must do that. And yet we need to put more effort into people that are currently living with the problem. And so she's running this fundraiser for the American Diabetes Association. I'm very proud of her. At 27 years of age, she's the youngest board member of the local community board. I happen to be the chair-elect of the national board, so I'm going to try to bring her along as much as possible. That means in 2020 I will be the chairman of the National American Diabetes Association board. We're about a $200 million organization, but it is important to just think about the fact that insulin is $3 the cost of one vial is $3 in India, $7 in Mexico, $15 in Canada. But it's almost $300 a vial here. Why? It is a travesty. And this is not a political issue. People want to politicize it. It is just about having insulin to live, which is affordable. With all our resources as a family, we've been able to support her, whether it is diet, it's exercise, it's pumps, it's automation, it's mental health, it's just nutrition. But what about all those people that cannot afford it? And we are depressing the productivity of our workforce because we are keeping people suppressed. So just think about that and open up your hearts and your wallets, and when you have a chance, $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever you can afford, if you can, feel free to just click on her link, and if you can make that donation, it'll go towards not us, but it goes towards helping people who are living with diabetes. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great time.